Welcome back, my name is Last No Meal, and today I'm going to be talking about the Cyberpunk 2077 gameplay demo. Yes, I know, I am very late with this video, but I was so busy doing other stuff and doing some stuff behind the scenes, there was no way in hell I could do this and do other stuff at the same time. But nevertheless, I'm going to talk about everything I've seen in this gameplay demo. I'm going to touch on different topics like the graphics, the gunplay, the level design, the RPG elements, and then in the next couple of days I will be doing a Q&A, so don't forget to ask if you want to ask anything at the end of the video, and the best questions are going to go in my new video. Basically, first things first, I want to talk about the game itself. Like, when the second trailer came out at E3 2018, and when they said the game is going to be first-person perspective, I was like, okay, this is going to be interesting, because a lot of people, including me, thought that this is going to be a third-person game. But at the same time, when I was talking with Mr. Mike Pondsmith, when I was, I do understand a decision behind it, because if you do want to interact with this world this big, the best thing to do is do it from a first-person perspective. So I know some people were not happy, and I was really curious to see how this is going to look like. Now, I definitely did not expect that they're going to release gameplay so soon. I was like, okay, maybe they're going to work on a game a bit more, and then next year on E3 they're going to show us gameplay. But at the same time, when you think about it, the reason why they also released this gameplay, number one, of course, to thank the fans for all the, just how loyal they were throughout all these years, and it's an amazing thing that CDPR did, a very nice things towards the fans. The second thing is that they can basically take all the feedback they receive in the comment section from people, blah blah blah, and they can actually take that feedback into consideration as they're working on the game. And generally, I was curious as well to see how the game looks like. Now, I had some idea that it might actually draw a bit from Deus Ex, like if you play that game, like the first person is kind of similar to that. And I'm not saying this in a bad way, I'm saying this in a good way. Now, everything they have shown in this gameplay demo looks surreal. Like, the first thing is character creation. Obviously, we will be able to choose our gender, we will be able to customize our character. When it comes to classes, we will have 3 classes that we will be able to choose. Now, at the same time, you have to understand those classes are not fixed, so you will have all the freedom in the world to kind of mix those classes up. You can choose from 3 classes: Solo, Techie, and Netrunner. And because this game is going to rely a lot on RPG elements, basically meaning every single situation you can approach it in a different way. The mission that we saw in the gameplay demo kind of shows you how much freedom you will have in this game. You will have multiple ways of finishing a certain mission. That is something I really loved about Deus Ex, that is something I loved about New Vegas, and that is something I really want to see in this game. So what they've shown is that you will have multiple ways of finishing a certain mission, meaning you can go full guns blazing, go in, kill everyone, or you can either go inside, talk with them, or sneak inside and see what you can do and kind of infiltrate the base from the inside and handle everything. Obviously, if you go all guns blazing, you are going to encounter a lot of defense. But if you go inside and you plant a virus that Militech actually gave you, you will be able to disable all of their defenses and, get the guys more easily. When it comes to graphics, I'm actually very satisfied with how the graphics looks like. Everything in the game is going to be handled from a first-person perspective, so that means it's not going to be like in The Witcher where you have a cutscene or you have dialogue and then you have a certain scene. Everything in Cyberpunk looks like is going to be handled from a first-person perspective, and definitely immerses you more into the game, because if you enter a car, for example, and you drive with Dex to a certain location, you talk with him, it just increases the immersion because you feel, okay, I am with him inside, I am handling the situation, and it can only benefit the game. I mean, the world itself and like how the graphics looks like is definitely something I expected from this game, because you have to understand, Cyberpunk is not only noir, dark streets, dark alleyways, it's also this during the day. But because this game is going to have a full day-night cycle, the city itself is going to change. And what I love about this is that every single decision you make, every single decision is going to affect your the world itself, your free roam. For example, if you attack a certain gang, a certain booster gang, and you kill a couple of their friends, they might retaliate. And this happens in this gameplay demo. You see a guy, you know, standing close to your car, just, you know, looking at shit, and then you get attacked as you're driving the car. So this is definitely going to be great. For example, I want to see if I go on a wrong foot with Militech. I wonder how those guys are going to retaliate. That's gonna be interesting to see. Also, when it comes to driving, like the first impression, not bad. I actually think the driving is very satisfying. Now, I want to see how the driving is going to be at the end. You have to understand that this is work in progress, so the things you see in this game do not represent the final product. I will probably end up just driving in a third-person perspective because you are able to do that. You can change the camera, but also the first-person perspective doesn't look that bad at all while you are in a car. When it comes to gunplay, I'm really satisfied with how this thing looks like. Honestly, like, my final decision is going to be when I play the game, when I actually feel the gunplay by myself. So far, it seems it's going to be very fluid, very agile. From everything we've seen, how, you know, she moves, how she goes from cover to cover, how she's able to, like, dodge bullets. That's amazing. Like, there was one scene that reminded me of Ultra Instinct. If you watch Dragon Ball, you know what I'm talking about. She was, like, avoiding those bullets really easily. So like, the gunplay itself is going to be very fluid. And what I love about this, there will be different ways of, you know, killing enemies themselves. So your choice of class, if for example you are a netrunner, you will rely a lot on hacking people. Like, for example, you jam their weapons and then you go in, they can't shoot you. So that's one of the possibilities. Also, if you want to go stealth, you can have the full stealth system in the game. So if you don't want to shoot anyone, or you don't want to open fire, you can just do that. I love how they did the melee system, like how she climbs up on a wall and just jumps down. That's gonna be very amazing to see how I'm going to do that with a katana. So all of this, what I said, when it comes to gunplay, the weapons, the game is definitely going to have a huge variety of weapons, from just the guns you find on the street to all of those high-tech weapons like the smart rifle that basically, when you start firing at a target, bullets are going to lock in and just shoot a target wherever you hit. So some people actually said, like, are those smart weapons going to be OP and it's just going to make the game easy? I really don't think so, because every single enemy that we've seen in this gameplay demo has a different weakness and a different strength. So I'm guessing all of those stronger enemies, they're not going to be so easily, you know, to take down, especially if you have a smart weapon. First, if they have an armor, you will need to do a, let's say, a certain thing to disable their armor, and then, for example, use the smart weapon. That is what we saw at the end with the boss fight, how you can basically do different things to the boss to cripple him, to disable him, and at the end kill him. So the choice of weapons is going to be crucial in the game. Like, I honestly would love for you to see me when this gameplay demo came out. I was screaming my tits off because I really love how the RPG elements are handled in this game. Because all of the freedom I get is amazing, because generally a lot of these RPG games today, they say like, okay, we're RPGs, but they don't give you that much freedom. But this game, oh my god, and the amount of detail this game has, I honestly do understand why it takes them so much to do this. Because every single poster, every single thing in the street has something for you. It's not going to be, okay, let's just fill the room with different posters and, news, media, sites. Everything you read, everything you see, everything you hear in this game, potentially that might result in a new mission or an encounter. Because one thing I do want to do in this game is just get into a car and explore Night City. We didn't see much, we only saw like one small portion, but oh my god, the world itself looks amazing. Like even at one point, the guy was waiting for the green light to cross the street. So I'm wondering if I pass the street on a red light, is the police going to approach me? If even that is included in this game, I am astonished with everything they did. It's astonishing, it's great, and definitely will, do justice to all the fans of Cyberpunk. Also, when it comes to dialogue is superb because it will be dynamic. So this means during the conversation you will have to choose your answers very carefully, because even like during that, there can be a gunfight, something can happen. So you will have to think out of the box to handle certain situations, and again, that will depend on your class and how you want to be in this game. If you want to be a corporate asshole, you can be that. If you want to be just a hired gun on the streets, do your own thing, like just get the power for yourself, that's also going to be available. And what I also really enjoy with this is that you're not going to be one-man army. You're not going to be someone who's the strongest of them all. Because when you meet Militech, the game tells you, look, these guys are on a whole different level. There's not going to be any possibility you can fight them right now. So this feeling of not being the strongest in the game, of not being the superhuman, of actually fearing for my life in front of these people is just amazing, and that is something I'm always looking from an RPG, because you will always have people that are stronger and weaker than you, so you will have to assess each and every single situation in a way that's not going to get you killed. Also, we saw different augmentations we can get, obviously, from the Ripper Doctor. You can buy those augmentations, you can upgrade those augmentations to give you different bonuses. What we've seen in the gameplay demo is that you can get a new eye with the ability to scan items, to zoom in. So honestly, it will just depend on your playstyle, how you want to do this. Like, if you want to be full of augmentations, you can do that. If you just want to use classical weapons and not rely on those augmentations that much, you can do that as well. It seems like we will have our own apartment, we can handle stuff from there, and I'm also wondering like how other outfits are going to look like, and every single outfit is basically going to give you also different bonuses, so it's not just cosmetical, it's also going to give you various different bonuses for you to use in the game. Also, I want to touch on the topic of hacking. For some people, hacking was a bit complicated, like when, she enters the net, like how all those things appear in front of the screen. For some people, it was too complicated. Look, it's going to take you some time, not too much, but it's basically depending on your playstyle. You don't have to go and hack. But what I love about this is that it makes you think out of the box, because you really have to assess every and each situation in like a very careful way, because if you don't, it will result in the future, like every single decision you make, think before you make it, because it will change the world around you, and it basically, if you make bad decisions, they will reflect on you later in the game. So at the end of the day, what we've seen is also nudity. Obviously, I can't show it on my channel because you can thank YouTube for that, but nudity is going to be very much present because the beginning of the demo, you can actually carry out a naked woman, so that's going to be a part of the game. And what I also love about companions is that they're actually going to be useful, and they're not just going to stand around you not saying anything, they will react to each and every single situation, so I'm really hyped for this game now. Like, I also saw that a lot of people are happy with how the game looks like. They're not dissing the first-person perspective. So I want to see like what they do with this. I want to see like how the game progresses, because I'm going to make a comparison video with this gameplay demo and later as they develop the game, because we know from The Witcher 3 that there was a lot of alterations in the game, like the game was downgraded a bit, but at the same time, you know, The Witcher 3 was still an amazing game graphically wise. So this thing also look amazing. As I said, still work in progress. We have to see the final results so I can make my final assessment on this. But from everything we've seen so far, from everything I've seen, it's great. I love it. I was screaming when I saw this, and hopefully you guys are happy as well. Big congratulations to CDPR. Thank you for giving us this gameplay. Thank you so much, and I can't wait to see what you guys do in the future with this game. Don't forget to tell me down below also what you think about this. If you have any questions, just drop them down below. I will answer them in the next video. And also don't forget to smash that like and subscribe button to stay updated with the latest news regarding Cyberpunk 2077. So that is all for today. Stay classy everyone, as I said, and bye bye.